Do you find that there's sufficient support from the government and from the authorities to help developers at this particular point in time? Because I'm just thinking of the workers that are working to build and construct the entire supply chain that is also leading towards the successful completion of any developers projects. Do you have any comments on this?
Yes, I do. If you look at the financing part of it, property developers are not easy to get financing. For the past couple of years, it's not easy to get financing. So unless that you have very good connections with the bankers and the bankers trust you a lot and the project is very viable, then they may look at it. Okay. And I was even given to understand, even the special relief announced by the government, the property developers cannot get benefit on it. Because many banks, they refuse to even give lending to property sectors and construction sectors. So if you are in trading, building materials, yes, they are willing to give it to you. But if you are constructions like contractors or developers, it's quite difficult to get. So to me, what the government should do, as I look at it, is that a few things they're still able to do. One of the things they're able to do is that the contribution to EPF, the employees and the employer contribution, you need to frozen it for a couple of months, for example, 6 months. Why? You have to provide liquidity, not only to property developers or contractors, but the whole market. Because we need to provide liquidity to the market so that the market are able to sustain this crisis for not working at all. For not working means 2 months without income. But you got expenses. Your fixed expenses is out. You cannot say you don't want to pay. Even the bank loans, you have moratorium, but yet you still have to pay interest. But they just postpone the payment. So therefore, government must provide the liquidity. That likewise, if you want the bank to give out more loans in order to spur the economic growth, as well as eventually will promote what I call private investment and private consumption. One of the things I believe that the government or bank sector can do is the lowering of the statutory reserve requirement, SRR, so that you provide more liquid to the market. And with the liquid, the bank only can continue to provide lending to the businessmen who are in need of financial assistance. That is one of the things they should look at it. Other than this, the overall market, we should also look at lowering the OPR, overnight policy rate. Why overnight policy rate is very important? Just look at the globally. We are closing in to zero interest rate. But our interest rate, the OPR is still 2.75, if I'm mistaken. So we still have room to come down. When you come down your OPR, means you reduce the interest rate in the market. When you reduce the interest rate in the market, then you put more money to the consumer, to the businessman, to the entrepreneur, and that will accelerate the economic growth of this country, and as well as encourage private consumption, private investment. And when you start generate this, at the end of the day, the economy will grow. The government will have income, revenue through tax or indirect tax. Through that way, the government also can help more people. That is the way to go forward. I think 3 things the government still can do, particularly after MCO. Because initially the MCO, we thought that we only probably 2 weeks or 4 weeks. So, but now it turned out to be 8 weeks, 2 months. 2 months without income. What the government has announced is very good, but I of the opinion that they can do better, they can do more to help the economy to grow, to help the businessmen, to help the individuals, but all must act in one united front to overcome this economic crisis. If this economic crisis, it is not going to be long, but it's going to be short on the condition that we have treatment on COVID-19, or we have at least a way to contain this COVID-19. Then from there, everybody start to work, start to generate some income. Then it will cushion down the whole thing. For the 2 months of MCO, or we put in 8 weeks of MCO, it will definitely have a great impact on our GDP. It will be at a technical recession in this Q1 and Q2. You cannot run away. Your Q1 2020 and Q2 2000 will be in technical recession. But in order to overcome so that we are not in recession for 2020, you need to do more for Q3 and Q4 in order for us to have a more comfortable kind of lending, and so that we can also stop the unemployment, jobless. We can stop businessmen, entrepreneurs to stop retrenching workers. Otherwise, if you not, the market is going to sink. When the market sinks, it will not be good for anybody. You see, but I can say the property market, well, no matter how you sink also, you will have a limit, simply because of the moratorium, simply because of what happened a couple of years ago, that the property market will be down. We have a very soft market for the past, I would say, 4 years, around 4 years, 3.5 to 4 years. So because of that, we are lucky in the industry, in property sectors. We have gone through the hard time, but at another 6 months or a year, I think we are okay. So a lot of people have talked about very negative on property market, but to me is that one of the sector which is well contained, simply because we seems that prepare for this pandemic. We have been prepared for a couple of years, not only this year, not only this month. Couple of years ago, the market already down. The developer is cutting their development, postponing their launches, all these things. If you look at the supply, new property supply in the market are down every year, down about 20% for the past 2-3 years. So we are okay. The industries, I think the industry players are okay. But what we need to save the economy of others, especially tourism, we need to.
Do you think that the loan packages for buyers can also be enhanced, changed, tweaked in order to help the buyers who have the interest and the initial capability to buy, to help them buy, rather than the conventional packages that we currently have? Do you think that would also be something that should be looked at?
Yes. Because particularly for owner-occupiers, if you are owner-occupiers, you can have something more innovative for them, particularly for affordable homes. Affordable homes, you can do something like this with options to purchase. You factor in the interest rate of 4.4% to 5%, so that they can cover back the cost for the developers. I think it will work. And it is very good, because this with option to purchase, that you peg your purchase price at current market, then you pay in the future. But of course, that is like you're obtaining a loan. At least you stay in your own house, you feel comfortable. Then after that, you get a bank loan to buy up the lease. So this is one of the ways. And of course, many developers are doing that, and this is not something new. Other than that, like just now I said, OPR, reduce interest rate, all these things, it will help. Because why? Once you reduce interest rate, the income that you available, then you increase your DSR, that's servicing ratio. So then the bank also able to grant you loan. Then because of bank wants to grant more loans to people, they need the liquidity. So SRR, lowering SR, statutory reserve requirement, is also one of the important factors. Because if you without that, you want to grant loan to micro, like for example, not only property loans, the micro credit loans, all these things, you need liquidity. So that liquidity itself will help a lot of sectors, not only property sectors, but as well as overall economy, and encourage economic growth. That's very important. That's why one of the reasons why I say, especially those owners occupied, I have one advice to them, and particularly those people who first-time buyers or upgraders. You always remember, buying a property is actually creating wealth, particularly to the youth. You want to create the wealth today when you are less than 30 years old, you buy. 10 years later, you're 30 something, 40 years old, your affordable homes, it become a double value. You know, in 10 years to, I think 10, 12 years, you can double the value. Then from there, you upgrade yourself. So eventually, when you retire the time, you are being called, or before even you retire, you are what you call millionaire employee. So this is how you create wealth. Property is also talking about wealth, not only talking about shelter. If you only talk about shelter, anyone also can. You can rent a room, you can rent a house, all this, you also got a shelter. But you never create a wealth for you. What happens if you retire? You have no income. You rely on EPF to pay rental? It doesn't make sense. So you buy one, okay, next time you double the value, you buy another one because of your income ability is increased. So you still keep the one that you bought earlier for rental. So with the rental, help you to repay your first loan. And the second loan, you use your own money. So at the end of 50 years, you know, or 15 years of age, after 20 years or 25 years, both property belongs to you. Don't you think that you are a millionaire employee? And when you retire, you have a passive income from the rental, and you have the EPF money to sustain yourself for another 20 years to 30 years. Don't you think that's a very good way to take care of yourself, to protect yourself? Yeah, I know. A lot of people say, whoa, it is better to rent now than to buy a property because your property is so expensive, rent is so little, then you compare like that, the figure will be better. Because why? You pay less money. But you've forgotten that you did not create any wealth. You are stagnant there. You depend on your income. Every month you collect 5,000 to 10,000 income. And you have to spend how much you can save. So the only way to create wealth for the lower income group and for the employees is to buy property and pack your wealth in property. And this is the time when in crisis is the time for you to go into the market. You are one of the person who take the risk, you take the opportunity. Why? In any crisis, there's always opportunity. Look at it properly, buy it, and you will never regret. In 5, 10 years time, you will look at your property value, you are laughing. Why? Because you create wealth for yourself. Particularly for youth. For youth, I encourage them to buy affordable homes if they cannot afford more expensive. Upgraders, you upgrade yourself. The apartments that you are staying, the condos you are staying, you rent it out, you get the rental that you can offset your repayment, then you buy one landed property, terrace houses, you'll never go wrong. As I say, terrace houses, they're double, triple your value in 10, 20, 30 years time. You know, it's just like in Cheras. In the 80s, 30 years, now 30 over years, I think it's 30 over years now. It's know how many times? 100,000 to 600, 700, 800,000, 7, 8 times. How you create a 7, 8 times wealth in your lifetime? Property is still the thing. Is it like I always never change my mind, you know, from the day when I graduate until today, it's still the same. You know, 30 over years, it's still the same.
Your first property that you purchased, you don't have to tell us where or how much, the first one, the day you bought to today, what is the value increase?
Oh, a lot.
10
yeah,
times?
I just quote the example, actually, just now the example.
Yeah.
In fact, I can tell you, I bought it in Cheras, and now it's worth about close to $1 million.
So is it 10 times?
Oh, yes, close to 10 times.
So 30 years, 10 times.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal story.
Yes.
It's a phenomenal
story. In fact,
story.
I can tell you, not only, this story is not only happened to me, it happened to many. You can ask your peers, ask the first property you buy and today, how much it costs. You know, they will tell you, enormous. You look at Taman Tun, 30 years ago, how much is a property, and today is a couple of millions. They're only 300, 400,000 30 years ago. And now it's talking about 3, 4 million terrace houses, semi-Ds. You look at them, just look at it. You know, you don't need to do much research, you know. You look at Taman Tun, you look at Wan Utama, you look at Damansara, you look at Cheras, certain area, Taman Sega, you know, Taman Sega, you know, they are semi-dear selling at 2-3 million. Those days where got this kind of price, isn't it? 100 to 1,000, 200,000 kind of properties 30 years ago. You know, look at many examples I can give you. It is nothing new. And you can, if you ask your grandfather will tell you that I buy a house in 10,000. Do you think how much is a house worth now? You look at Pudu, I think the shop lot there is 10,000. Today, talk about 50 years ago, 10,000. Today is millions. So you don't need a scientist to tell you how this thing works. I can tell you, property market will always there, and you need is one very important thing, is that sustainability. You must able to sustain it. Okay, calculate it properly, sustain it. You save now, and you will be happy future. And you definitely make it one. But don't like somebody who buy until 5, 6, 7 properties. You know, where I have the scheme of what interest bearing scheme lah, this lah, that lah, rental guarantee lah, and blah blah blah. All these are killing you. You buy properties for your own occupations. At most, you rent out one, so that the one that you rent out is your previous property where you stay, and you get the income, rental income to repay the loan, and you get a new one for you to stay. Then this kind of planning is sustainable, and it makes you a millionaire in a very short time. Maybe in 15 years, you become a millionaire. But if you earn wages earner 10,000 a month, you want to become a millionaire? I think it's a dream. Unless you don't spend a single cent, which is impossible. You got your family, you got your children, you got your entertainment. You need to entertain yourself. You need to enjoy yourself. You need to feel comfortable. How are you going to create wealth? Creation of wealth is only through properties. That's very simple. And it is very sustainable if you need to control yourself very well. If you don't control yourself, you keep on investing, you sure kaput. You cannot beat the market. You're just like chasing a dragon tail. You want to chase a dragon? You want to catch his tail? Possible? Not possible. But if the dragon come to you, that is everything possible. So how to make the dragon come to you? You must be patient. You must be prudent. Then you will have the dragon. Otherwise, the dragon will run away. You never can catch them. So remember, be prudent. Don't overstress yourself. Get yourself ready, and you will be, in time, you will achieve your objective to be a millionaire employee, particularly for the youth. This one is for the youth. The upgraders, yes, when you have a small property now, you want to upgrade to a bigger property, you want to be more spacious for your family, yes, go for landed property. With good connectivity, well managed, have a good ambience, then you will love it, then you will enjoy it, your family enjoy it. At the end of the day, you also create some wealth for yourself. And you know, who knows, from there you leapfrog again. You know, I'm just telling you that this is how 1 to 2. You get the 3 one. You never know. You run it properly, then you're okay. So that's basically I want to share with everyone. And I think it's about time, right?
Yes, about time.
About time. Thank you very much for having me. If even have opportunity, I even can share more how we should invest, how to select our properties, or even for development, what we should even look at it. Various stages, various time requires certain needs. The community move on. The community develop. The community change taste. The community change their needs. Those days we don't need security. Today we need security. And after security, now we are talking about ambience, lifestyle, landscape, comfortable living, spacious living coming. We are talking about small apartments of 200 or 300 square feet to 500 square feet, or 1 bedroom, 1 person studio, all this. Now probably may change a little bit, bigger kind of studio, because you can work at home, something like that. So times change, needs change, and everything will start changing. As developer, we need to update the market, or rather follow the progress of the market or the needs of the market. We have to fulfill the needs of the market. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dato'. Thank you so much for your sharing. We look forward to the next sharing that we will get you to probably respond as well, because I think very sage and cogent points. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, is to actually look at this piece of information, and it's not theoretical. One of the things that I'm most impressed with is the fact that this comes with battle scars. This person has gone through and is telling the story of how to increase wealth, but you need patience, persistence, and sustainability. So thank you so much, Datuk Chew. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.